Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Success, power, and greatness don't come from playing it safe. They come from taking risks. Big, bold, audacious risks. If you're not willing to take risks, you're never going to get ahead. You're never going to win. But if you're willing to take those risks, if you have the courage and the guts to go after what you want, then you will reap rewards that are beyond your wildest dreams. Let me start by saying this. When I first started in real estate, I wasn't the biggest player in town. I wasn't the wealthiest guy in the room. But what I had was vision, and I was willing to take calculated risks. I saw opportunities where others saw obstacles. Take my first big project, Trump Tower. People told me it was crazy. The idea of building a 58-story skyscraper in the middle of Manhattan, they said it would never work. But I knew, deep down, that if I pulled it off, I could change the game. And that's exactly what I did. You know, I learned a lot from my experiences. And I've seen it firsthand, from some of the greatest businessmen, politicians, and entrepreneurs, like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and my good friend Carl Icahn. These are people who have built empires. They didn't get to the top by playing small. No, they made big moves. They made big bets. They risked it all. And look where they are now. That's why they're at the top. Because they understand that if you want big rewards, you have to take big risks. Think about Elon Musk for a second. When he was building Tesla, he was told over and over again that it wasn't going to work. That electric cars were a joke. People told him to walk away, to play it safe. But what did he do? He doubled down. He took a huge risk. He poured everything he had into that company. And guess what? He changed the world. He became one of the wealthiest people on the planet, all because he was willing to risk it all. Now, I've had my share of risky ventures too. I took a gamble with Trump University. It didn't go as planned, but I learned. And here's the thing, I never let failure define me. Failure isn't the end. It's just a lesson. Every successful person has had setbacks. But what separates them from the rest is that they keep going. They learn, adapt, and come back stronger. They risk and they reward. And let me tell you something. Risk is not about being reckless. It's about being smart, calculated, and strategic. You take risks when you see an opportunity, when you feel that you have a chance to make something big happen. Take my time in Atlantic City. I made a huge investment in casinos. People said it was a crazy move. The market was volatile. The economy wasn't in the best shape. But I knew something others didn't. I knew that if I positioned myself just right, I could dominate the market. And guess what? I did. People always ask me how I did it. And here's the truth. It wasn't just about taking risks. It was about understanding people, understanding what motivates them, what gets them excited. You have to know your market. You have to know how to sell your idea, your vision. And let me tell you, when I was running for president, it was the same thing. People told me it was impossible. They said I didn't have a chance. But I knew. I knew I had something they didn't, a vision, a plan. And I took that risk. And we won. We won big. Risk is about vision. When you have a clear vision, it's easier to take risks because you know what you're working toward. You know where you're going. I remember talking to Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, one of the most brilliant minds in the world, and he said something that stuck with me. Risk is the price of greatness. You want greatness, you've got to be willing to risk. You want to build an empire? You've got to bet on yourself. And here's the thing about risk. You control it. You manage it. You don't go into something blindly. You do your research. You calculate the possible outcomes. You make sure you have a contingency plan. That's what separates the successful from the ones who fall flat. You look at Jeff Bezos, starting Amazon in his garage. He took a huge risk, but he calculated it. He understood the potential, and he was willing to make that leap. And today, he's the richest man in the world. And you know what? It's not just about business. Risk applies to life. Every decision you make, every move you take, involves some form of risk. But if you sit back and don't make a move, you're just watching life pass you by. Complacency kills. You think Richard Branson built Virgin Airlines by sitting in his office, playing it safe? Absolutely not. He was always on the edge. He took calculated risks, and he built an empire. and that's why we all know his name. Now, let's talk about leadership. A strong leader is someone who embraces risk. A leader understands that change comes with risk. When I became president, I didn't play by the old rules. I didn't follow the traditional path. People told me to do things a certain way, but I knew better. I created my own path. And that's what true leaders do. They risk everything to make history. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. Look at Abraham Lincoln. He took massive risks by fighting for the Union. He risked his reputation, his career, and his legacy. But look at what happened. He's remembered as one of the greatest leaders in history. He didn't let fear hold him back. He didn't let the naysayers stop him. He pushed forward, and he changed the course of history. That's the kind of leadership that wins. And you want to know what separates those who take risks and those who don't? Confidence. When you have confidence in yourself, when you believe that you can achieve something, you're more likely to take that risk. Confidence is the fuel that propels you forward. Without it, you'll never take that first step. But with it, you'll move mountains. You'll take on challenges that seem impossible, and you'll overcome them. I'm sure you've heard of Mark Zuckerberg and how he started Facebook. He took a risk by starting a social network when the internet was still growing. He bet on social interaction and human connections. And now look at him, one of the wealthiest people in the world, leading a company that has revolutionized how we communicate. But it's not just about business. Taking risks also applies to personal growth. I've risked everything to become the person I am today. I took risks with my career, my personal life, my reputation. I didn't always play it safe, and I don't regret a single one, because those risks are what led me to this moment. They've made me stronger. They've made me better. And now, you have the chance to do the same, to take that first step, to take that first risk. I don't care what anyone tells you. If you want to achieve greatness, you must take risks. It's the only way to break through the noise and build something that lasts. Now is your time. I'm telling you, the moment you embrace risk, the moment you step out of your comfort zone, your life will change. You will begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. And that's when the rewards start rolling in. Because remember, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. So make your move. Don't sit back. Take the risk. Create your own path. Be bold. Be audacious. Be a leader. And reap the rewards. Donald J. Trump.